Hello, all, and welcome to episode 2 of the Grand Podcast. I'm your host, Cody the Grand. You can just call me Cody. I am so happy to be kicking it with you. I'm happy to just have this little time with y'all, man. I'm really trying my best to keep my hype down because I just can't believe that you here for episode 2, spending time with me, man. You can be doing anything in the world, but you kicking it with me, and I just really appreciate that. I hope that something I say serves you. I hope that when you are done, you have a sense of clarity on something. I am here to entertain, enlighten, and educate. Those are the 3 E's of the Grand brand. This is me getting my introduction out of the way, by the way. I hope that you are listening to me in a space that you consider to be safe, because there is a you that I want to talk to today that just requires you to be a little bit comfortable. And I would like you to be comfortable somewhere where you can reflect when I get done. Okay, let's get it on. Let's get right into it. I have been bombarded, bro. I have been bombarded with people interacting with me recently talking about feeling sad. I don't like using the word depressed because people have this thing where they just kind of self-diagnose themselves as depressed because we don't use the word sad enough in our vocabulary in our community. But the truth is, people are just really sad out here, bro. Most of the reason that people are sad is because they are in a state of like gray area. People are in like this weird state of confusion. People want clarity. People want direction. People want to know what it is they need to be doing exactly to get them as close to fulfillment as possible. That's as simple as I can put it, bro. If you are feeling gray right now, if you are feeling a sense of confusion, if you are feeling down and shit, more than likely it is because you just do not feel like you are doing what you should be doing to get close to the feeling of fulfillment. You just might be a little bit lost in your story right now. That's all. Before I dive into that, let me say that you are not experiencing something that is abnormal. You are not experiencing something that you are not supposed to be experiencing. You're just experiencing the results and in some cases the consequences of certain choices in your past and lack of preparation for today, which would also lead to lack of preparation for the future if you don't change that today. What I mean by that is some of those choices that you made because they seemed fun and because they seemed they seemed to incur the idea that you just had time to get it. Some of those choices led you here to feeling this. You might have dealt with people that you know you shouldn't have been dealing with, or gone places you know you shouldn't have gone on some I just want some life experience kind of vibe, and that's cool. But you probably done those things, and once again, those choices just could have contributed to getting you into a space where you wish you could get that time back, and you wish you could get that time back to discover some more about you. The thing about fulfillment is fulfillment kind of requires you to know a little bit about yourself. And one of the things it requires you to know, requires to be known from you is what the hell it is you want to do. Fulfillment requires you to know how you see yourself. We don't have enough conversations on like what it is we really want to see ourselves doing, being, becoming, experiencing. We just go. Let me just say it as simple as this. People are really sad because they have a lot of voices in their head. The reason you have a lot of voices in your head is because it is officially socially acceptable. Not only socially acceptable, but it is promoted socially now for you to have a lot of voices in your head. If you don't believe me, ask me I challenge you to just ask yourself the last time you have gone 3 days intentionally, 3 days, not on accident. I mean, 3 days intentionally with no social media and no contact with a peer that did not contribute to your future plans. I'll say it like that. When was the last time you intentionally had conversations that only fed your future And you stayed off of social media because you understood that the things you see feed you. I'm really being rhetorical, so you don't have to actually try to answer it, bro. But I'm telling you that you just have a lot of voices in your head. It's cool to have voices in your head. People talk to you now about things you see on your timeline, things you see on TV, things you hear on the radio. People talk to you about what other people have going on. And it seems so common. It seems so nothing. The thing about it, though, is those conversations that we have every day, they take our time and they take our mind. They take our energy. Those conversations that don't feed you, that don't nourish you actually, really actually nourish your future, you're giving up something to have that conversation. Usually you're giving up space internally. So now you are taking in information from somebody that actually does nothing for you. Does nothing for you. And because it does nothing for you, it doesn't feed you. It's kind of like eating junk food. The thing about eating junk food is, it's okay in moderation, but a lot of people eat junk food all day. When you scroll all day and you listen to your homies or your homeboy, your homegirl all day, talk to you about things that don't necessarily feed the you that you want to be, the time that you gave them is gone. You can't get it back. That's what I meant earlier about some of those choices that we make that land us here. We make a lot of choices that just land us in a space. We made a lot of choices in our past that landed us in a space that have us kind of confused. Some of those choices aren't as grandiose as going out and having a wild night. Some of those choices just include small conversations that just lasted a little bit too long on the phone. You listen to that gossip a little bit too long that day. You watch TV a little bit too much that day. You did not pick the book up long enough that day for you to get to know yourself. Like I said, the thing about fulfillment is it requires you to have a sense of what it is you see for yourself. It requires you to have a sense of direction. The thing about direction is we need a map. That map is your instincts. One of the reasons we are in a state of confusion is we don't listen to our instincts enough. And you don't listen to your instincts enough because, once again, you have too many other voices in your head, whether it be from social media and pop culture, or it's your family that you're trying to prove something to, or it's your friends that you're just trying to make sure that they understand that you out here getting money. You know what I'm saying? You having a good time. You want to keep up the image of somebody that's social. Doing all that. That's a distraction, bro. It distracts you from sitting down, making a plan. First off, I can't even get to making a plan. It distracts you from sitting down to even hear what your instincts are telling you. Hear what your instincts are pointing you towards. Things that you need to go out and go get and go grab and go try. People that your instincts are telling you to message or people that your instincts are telling you to push away from you for a season. It's distracting you from that. It's distracting you from you getting to know yourself. Your instincts are there for a reason. See, I'm a Christ-based man. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in the Holy Spirit. I believe that the Holy Spirit speaks to us and guides us, but God also gave us instincts. Our instincts takes us places that our mind can't even fathom. Part of the other reason that you are feeling down is because we live in this, like I can say it like this. Let me say it like this. We are distracting ourselves a lot because reality just sucks, bro. Reality blows. Like if you are caught up, if you don't have a vision for yourself, if you don't have dreams, if you don't have a place where you can go in your mind and fantasize about the type of life you could have and the things you could build, even if you hadn't seen them before, you will get caught in this reality. And this reality is rough, bro. It is so much hate and evil and fucking death and destruction in this reality. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of beautiful things in this reality too that can nourish you and feed you, but that isn't what we consume every day, all day. We consume a lot of things, like I said earlier. We consume a lot of those snacks. Too many snacks, but it'll kill you, lead to diabetes. We are consumed with things that actually rob us. You go outside, you turn on the TV, you listen to a song. There are more negative things in that song feeding you than positive. There are more negative things on social media feeding you than positive. Once again, the news don't report on planes landing. They report on plane crashes. That's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to feed yourself when you cut the TV on. More than likely, something that isn't nourishing you. You have to go out and intentionally get nourishment. You got to go get it for yourself, because the world we live in, the reality we live in, isn't going to just hand it to you because it doesn't want to. It doesn't want you nourished. Gravity's job is to pull you down. That's a beautiful quote from T.D. Jakes. Gravity's job is to pull you down. Your job is to soar. But you got to be intentional about that thing. You got to get to know you. Listen to your instincts. Your instincts know you. Your instincts know you for real. You can't run from your instincts. Your instincts are part of the you that you've been trying to suppress to make people feel comfortable too. Your instincts still like, nah, bro, I'm here. Don't get it twisted though. The thing about instincts is your instincts can get used to you not leaning in, because you still have a choice. We get convicted about things all the time and we still go and do post-conviction. We do it all the time. I know my big sin is sexual behavior. Every time I do anything sexual with somebody, I get convicted about that thing, but I do it again. Whatever yours is yours. But just know, like, you still got a choice. And we make poor choices all the time, but just don't lean in. You have to try listening to your instincts. Your instincts are there for you. The Holy Spirit whisper in your ear. The Holy Spirit push those instincts up. Like the Holy Spirit is like, hey, I'm telling them, but like, you make them feel these ways too. I need you to rumble in his stomach a little bit. I need you to rumble in her stomach a little bit, so she can, kind of feel something too, since my voice just isn't enough. Instincts are powerful. They were planted in you. You just got to trust them bad boys. But to trust them, you got to know them. You got to know when it's your instincts speaking for the better you, the future you that's depending on you to make better decisions. And the only way for you to do that is for you to get off your phone. I ain't just talking about social media either. Stop talking to people all day, every day. Get some of them voices out of your head. You need to hear your voice, your future, the future that you could have, that could make you look at yourself and say, job well done. Depends on you hearing your voice, hearing what your desires really are. Even in the Bible, it says God give you the desires of your heart. But wouldn't it be beautiful if you were a little bit more in tune with those desires too? You could know about them. You can know some. You can have some of them up here. If you just listen a little. If you just stop distracting yourself by doing things that are at this point just normal to us. But like I said, it's not about us just picking up our phone. We are taking in information. We are eating. And we are eating things that do not nourish us, people. And you know what's happening if it ain't nourishing you, but you're taking it in your body anyway. It's killing you. It's poisoning you. It's killing your mind. In this case, for this specific conversation we have, it's quieting your voice. It's quieting your instincts. Once again, a lot of people don't know what it is they really want. A lot of people don't even know their real desires. A lot of people just feed off the desires that pop culture and media just put in your face. You never even asked yourself where you stand with having a romantic partner. So many people feel like having a romantic partner is going to actually make them feel fulfilled. They think that, oh, okay, if I have this person in my life claiming me as their partner, that will fill a hole that will make me feel like I am, quote unquote, complete. But nah, like, I don't think it works like that. Now, don't get me wrong, like, that could be one of your desires that lead you towards your fulfillment, having that person there for you as a helpmate. That can be one of your desires, but you can't put that kind of pressure on another human being, bro, to fill you up. That's not their job. That is not their job. I repeat, that is not their job. But even past that, you might not even desire that. But everything in pop culture says, oh, you're not married by 35? You don't have no kids by 32? What's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. You ain't dating. What's wrong with you? People can't even walk up to you and have a conversation with you without bringing up your love life, without bringing up your romance. Like, you out here trying your best to get to know yourself, trying to chase dreams, and all people want to know is, so who you having sex with? Who you getting freaking nigga with? They really just want to get in your business, but it's not, don't blame them, it's not their fault, it's just a byproduct of pop culture. That's all we talk about. We talk about the distractions. People aren't asking, hey man, what is it that you're doing that I can sew into? I can feed and help you get done. What projects you working on? One of the realest questions somebody ever asked me, bro, was somebody just walked up on me and we were having a good conversation. They just said, hey, so what books are you reading? Blew my mind. You know what really blew my mind? The fact that I wasn't reading any. I had to just make up something on the spot, and I did. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. I did. I lied. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading, you know what I'm saying, Tale of Two Cities, you know, classic. You know the classics, baby. I didn't read that damn book. They didn't even know that. I felt insecure at the moment because somebody was asking me what I was nourishing myself with. And the truth was I was only nourishing myself with music that degraded my people and movies that degraded my self-image. I was just feeding myself with that. Cartoons that were based around violence. I was feeding myself with that. And don't get me wrong, y'all. Everything that we take in can be, perspective. Everything can be seen with an eye of positivity. Can be. That's you hunting. But hopefully I'm having this conversation with people that are mature enough to understand what I'm really saying here. Hopefully I don't have to go back and, actually address this. But I'm just saying there are things about you that you might desire to you that well, let me rephrase it. There are things that you might be going after at this present moment that you don't actually desire. You hadn't actually seen yourself in that space in the future. And I use romance as an example because so many people chase this ideal romance, but they hadn't actually gotten to know themselves and seen themselves with a partner, really seeing themselves as a benefit to another person spiritually, emotionally, and romantically. And financially. Let me add financially. Excuse me, y'all. One of my group chats going off in the background. Can't have it. Y'all hear the dang things. But people don't see themselves in the actual space, but they want it. And they just know they want it. But they aren't asking why. It's the same idea with the like job security. People want a job and a nice house, big home, and cars and 4 kids and a dog. They never ask, like, what, why? You know what I'm saying? Does that define me? It's just kind of weird, bro. And it's not weird because because it's an experience that is obscure or anything. It's just weird because our lives are just more than that. You can actually have your desires, but so many people don't even know what their desires are. So of course you are walking around here with your head down because every day you feel like you are wasting your time. Honestly, if you aren't trying to feed yourself nutrients, you're kind of making yourself sad on purpose. And I hate to say it like that because I don't want to put down someone's experience. I don't want to minimize your experience. But now there are things you could be doing to make you happier, to make you positive, to make you feel better. There are things you could actively do. One of those things, key, is getting to know yourself. Putting yourself in a situation to where you can hear your instincts so you can follow them. Other things you can do to lift yourself up from a place of sadness is you can start doing things that directly benefit you. That is also another pro of cutting off that phone, getting some of those voices out of your head. You can be out here working out. You can be out here eating better foods. You can be out here self-educating, bro. Educating yourself on something you're just interested in. I ain't saying it got to make you money, because that's one of the other things that keep us down. We feel like everything that we have to do has to lead to income. It does not. Your life is more than just what it says in your bank account, bro. Your life is worth more than that. You are more valuable than that. You are more valuable to the people around you than the money you make. Your mind needs you. The future you needs you to keep on building on what it is you've learned. You did not stop learning at the end of high school. You did not stop being educated. You can get out here and figure out other things you can do. Some of y'all just need to try something else. Let me say this. I don't know why God dripped this in my spirit real quick, but I just got to say this, fam. Some of y'all need to accept that you just might not work in your degree, bro. You got that degree or you dropped out, and you had ideas of what you should have been studying and could have been studying. But let me just tell you, you just might not get a job doing it. That might not be what fulfills you. Take it in, accept it. You might not work in the field that you went to school for. You know why? Well, let's talk about the universe. People like to talk about the universe a lot. You know why the universe probably hadn't shifted in the direction for you to work and what it is you went to school for? Because the you that chose that didn't listen to your instincts. The you that chose that didn't really know much about you. The you that chose that career path that you hate probably didn't console you. You probably didn't really sit down with you, get to know what it is you desire and where it is you see yourself before you made the decision to commit. You just committed because you got an opportunity for a job. And don't get me wrong, we need money out here, bro. We need the bread. Bread and meat is what we need to survive out here. But once again, you cannot look at those things as tools for fulfillment. If you know that your job is just a source of income for you to take care of what you need, bet. But you just got to be aware of it. But there are people out here that are feeling low because of where they work. Because where they work has nothing to do with what it is they really see themselves doing and who it is they really see themselves being. But let me tell you, you are more than just your place of employment. You can find fulfillment and still work a job you aren't all the way pleased with. That is a thing. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Who you are and your occupation are two totally different things. Two totally different things. Yes, I talked about wasting time earlier, but you providing for yourself is not a waste of time. You got to provide for yourself, and especially if you got responsibilities, you got to provide for them too. You got to do it, but you can still get to do things that lean you into your desires. I'm running out of time. Get to know you. You don't have to be sad, bro. You don't have to be. Feed yourself nutrients. Feed yourself nutrients. You don't have to be down. Before you call somebody and go off on one of those passive aggressive rants that you want to go off on about why life just doesn't look the way you want it to look or whatever it is that got you down, before you call them, you need to ask yourself if you have done something for you recently. When was the last time that you just put yourself on a pedestal? When was the last time you said, you know what? I'm going to go out here and I'm going to go do something good for me. I'm going to spend some real time with myself. Get those voices out of your head. Get off social media so much because you can't help but don't you realize that on social media, you are actually taking in other people's lives. And it might not be their real life. It could be the life that they're just trying to portray, but you're still taking in other people's lives. And you are comparing your life to theirs. And you might not even be doing it consciously, but you're still doing it because you're taking it in. You have hours and hours and hours of information that makes you feel like you aren't doing enough. That cannot be good for you. That cannot be good for you. Can't be. Can't be. There's a difference between something motivating you and something like pulling on your insecurities. Like, it's not motivating you, is feeding you nutrients. Seeing somebody win and you clapping for them and saying, man, you go. And then you feeling that sensation of, you know what, I could win too. That's motivating. But that ain't what you're feeling yourself with. You are out here feeling yourself with other people's lives saying, I want that too. Not I can have that. I can have victories like you have victories. That ain't what you doing. You saying, I want that too. I want that car. I want that family. I want that job that pays this, that, and the third. I'm tired of these things. That ain't motivation. I'm just saying, man. Get to know you. Listen to your own voice. I get it. And I'm going to close with this. Your own voice is scary. It's one of the scariest noises you can ever hear, bro. Your own voice is so loud because your own voice knows you. Your own voice knows the you that doesn't feel worthy, and it knows the you that feels small, and it knows the you that isn't that good, and you got opportunities because somebody just liked the way you dressed or liked your personality or knew somebody in your family or knew one of your line brothers or your sorority sisters or something like that. That voice knows that about you. Your instincts knows that about you too. But those things aren't telling you you aren't worth success. Those things aren't telling you you're worth victory. Those things aren't telling you that you still deserve a blessed life. The thing that's telling you that is you in your lower self. And I gotta bring this up because a lot of people don't know when it's their lower self speaking up, and they confuse their lower self with their instincts. Their lower self is that doubt. Their lower self is that fear. Their lower self is that tired. Those are the worst parts of you. And they get real loud because we get really used to feeding them, listening to them, and then acting upon them. Every time tired talk to you, you sit down and you lay down and you listen to it and you say, you know what, tired? You right, we are tired. You ain't even tired. Tired just loud because it's used to you doing what it says. Tired say, lay on down. You worked 8 hours today. You deserve to chill, even though you told yourself earlier you got dreams you want to accomplish. I gotta take a drink on that one right there. I ain't gonna lie, that was pretty alright. Shout out to Uncle Nears. I'm just saying, man, you can have the things you desire. You can have it. And you don't have to be sad out here, but you got to get to know yourself. That voice is scary. But just because it's scary, don't mean it ain't for you. Just because food nasty sometimes don't mean it ain't good for you. Sometimes that scary ass voice can be the one thing that you need to get some of these distractions out of your way so you can work towards being the future you that wants to prosper, that's going to prosper. You're going to prosper because you listening to me. If you done made it this far in this podcast, I'm telling you right now, something that I done said, I'm not sure about this, is going to have you saying, I can be what it is that I desire. My relationship can be what it is. That's for me. That's a word for me. I'm looking at myself and telling that to myself. I can have one of those relationships that look cool on TV and look good in movies. Like, it ain't all fucked up out here. I can have one of those relationships that nourishes me romantically, financially, spiritually, emotionally, sexually, for sure. I'm trying to get big nasty with my woman. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. If I had me one, boy, and just know I'm gonna have it one day too. See, I didn't always speak like this to myself about myself. I didn't always speak like this. I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all. I didn't even want to sit here and do this podcast today. I didn't want to do it. You know why I didn't want to do it? Because I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I had no idea what to present to you guys because voices. I started listening to so many voices. You know what changed? I accepted the fact that passion wasn't going to give me my answer. I accepted that maybe I'm just not going to feel it. And just not feeling it isn't an excuse to not do what I told myself I would do. See, discipline will take you further than talent ever will. Discipline will take you further than who you know ever will. Discipline is going to be the key to you being the you that you want to be. What changed this for me was I gave myself a date in which I wanted to drop this by. And the second, I'm telling y'all, the second I said, I will do this on Monday. I'm going to record this bad boy on Monday. I mean, as soon as I said it, God just hit me. You got this. He just said, you got it. Just do your thing. Y'all, I don't know enough. I hadn't read enough. I hadn't experienced enough. All that to be a voice that tells people how it is they should live their life. Keeping it real with y'all. I'm just here doing my thing, though. Doing my thing got me out of real sadness. Doing my thing made me feel like I was somebody that was worth the kind of love that one should give themselves. I'm not even talking about the kind of love that you want to receive from somebody else. Because in the words of my one of my beautiful best friends, Jay Book, neighbor love is predicated by self-love. You got to know that the love that you have for yourself got to be beautiful. It got to be. It got to be. Because as soon as you get that thing, you can do anything. You can have anything when you see yourself a certain kind of way. And you can see yourself that way if you just listen to your instincts. If you listen to your voice. Get some of these other voices out of your head. And I'm not talking about haters either. I'm talking about people who absolutely love you when I talk about these other voices. These people love you. They give you their opinion all the time. Y'all just talking about stuff that ain't feeding your desires. How can you know what your desires are when your mind, body, and soul is filled with the ideas of other people? See y'all in 2 weeks.